The Rising of the Shield Hero, Volume 1, Chapter 13, Remedy. The day died out and the night grew cold. It was about time for Raftalia's stomach to grumble. Leaving the luggage behind at the inn, we went to a nearby restaurant for dinner. We had some snacks just a while ago. Raftalia got them from an unfamiliar shop, though I had no idea what was so good about them. Good grief, I needed a way to fatten up my wallet. I guess camping out will be our plan from now on. So, I'll let you eat your fill for now. Let's see. Delay is set for 2 people and a Neapolitan, please. Neapolitan. After giving the order to our server, our dinner soon arrived. Let's dig in. Raftalia began eating by stuffing food into her mouth with her bare hands again. Judging from her growth, I would say she was roughly 10. She had been eyeing my plate, so I went ahead and ordered extra. Eat up while you can, since we'll be camping out from tomorrow onward. Ha, good eat. I don't know what that means. I think it's like hi, but with a goo because she's eating. I don't know. Nodding and eating at the same time is bad table manners, but since she's eating so gratefully, I excuse her behavior this time. After that, we returned to our room where I took note of Raftalia's appearance yet again. Your hair is a mess. Let's trim it a bit. Hi. I patted Raftalia's head with a pawn since she was making an uneasy face. It'll be fine. Not going to give you a weird haircut. Besides, it was her current appearance that looked weird. Using a knife, I began trimming off the excess of hair with a gushi. I trimmed her hair to about shoulder length before I was done. Alright, this much should be good, right? Compared to her old hairstyle, this one was at least more presentable. With this, she would look quite nice after dressing up. Raftalia began twirling around, her face swelling with confidence. I wonder what she's so happy about. The shield reacted when I was cleaning up the leftover hair. I never would have imagined that. Sue. I guess that's the shield absorbing things. I opened my status to confirm, though it appeared that my level and tree were still insufficient. Crap, she turned around. Now then, you should hurry up and go to bed. She was being strangely honest, unlike yesterday. Well, that's good. She might sleep well again, so I busied myself by compounding inside the room. Nutritional supplement was created. Nutritional supplement quality bad. A bit bad, a medicine that relieves fatigue. It's also effective as a method by rapidly recovering from malnourishment. Recovery potion was created. Recovery potion quality a bit bad. Normal a medicine that it goes from bad to a bit bad because of this. He made one that was bad, but it's only a bit bad because of his shield. Okay. Quality, a bit bad to normal. A medicine that treats certain illness. It would be less effective against more severe diseases. There are various things that can be made using the mountain and forest herbs. Because of this, I can trade these at the pharmacy for a splendid sum of money. It was just that materials were consumed at a fearsome rate that was borderline hazardous. Altogether, I made 6 nutritional supplements and a few other remedies. However, it was very difficult to make high-quality medicines. I had no chance of winning against a specialist, since I'm the shield hero and not a pharmacist. Let's absorb some of them into the shield then. The requirement for calorie shield has been unsealed. The requirement for energy shield has been unsealed. The requirement for energic shield has been unsealed. Calorie shield, equipment bonus, stamina boost, small, unmastered. Energy shield, equipment bonus, SP boost, small, unmastered. Energic shield, equipment bonus, stamina consumption decrease, small, unmastered. For the time being, all of them gave status-related bonuses. Just what is stamina anyway? Is it like physical fitness? It seems that I'll need to experience this for myself. Next we have the medicinal herbs, medical herbs, but I wonder if it'll become more difficult if I continue to recklessly learn more crafting skills. I want more combat bonuses, or maybe it's because I can't meet the unsealing requirement with the only herbs that I collected. Well, that's fine. While stretching and preparing to go to sleep, I spotted Raftalia squeezing her eyes tight. Looks like she wasn't able to get a good night's sleep. That was a sign she was about to weep. Kya! I covered her mouth right before she screamed, then I held her in my arms while gently patting her with a pun-pun. I knew I was somehow able to calm her down tonight, but she would cry her eyes out if I tried to let go of her now. Guess it can't be helped. Let's sleep together then. It felt kind of chilly. Feeling the sunlight shining on my face, I opened my eyes. Raftalia, who was supposed to be sleeping next to me, was trembling in a corner of the room. What's wrong? Gomenasai. I furrowed my eyebrows at Raftalia, who was desperately muttering apologies. I could roughly guess the reason due to this damp chillness which was coming from underneath me. I see. Raftalia wet the bed. She thought I would be angry. I had never heard of a 10-year-old wetting the bed, but there was no way I could be angry after looking at those frightened eyes of hers. I went over to Raftalia. I reached my hand out, startling Raftalia as she curled herself up into a ball, shielding her head. Good grief. I used that hand to pat the shoulder of a trembling Raphtalia. Wetting the bed wasn't something you can control, right? Come now, hurry up and undress so you can wash yourself up. She'll need a spare change of clothes, too, I suppose. Eh? Raphtalia looked at me with a mystified expression. You're not angry? How could I lash out at someone who's been regretting their actions? You reflected on what you did, so I'm not angry. The sheet was stained. I wonder how much I'll have to pay the innkeeper. We'll keep it as a piece of cloth for the time being. After that, I explained the situation to the innkeeper, paid for the damages, and rushed off to buy some spare clothes from the weapon shop. Although the well water was a bit cold, I washed the sheet clean and packed it into our luggage bag. It seemed like a great idea to dry this sheet by tying it onto a branch and hanging it as we walked through the meadow. Now then, it's getting a bit irritating to walk with Raphtalia, who continues apologizing. I told you not to worry about it. She really was an obedient child. However, it would also be troublesome for me if she had no motivation. Gah. Raphtalia's stomach grumbled again. Oh, and her face was flushed with shame. I guess it's about time for breakfast. Raphtalia walked beside me while holding onto the hem of my shirt. All right then, you'll need to take this medicine as punishment. I handed a recovery potion over to Raphtalia. It seems like a persistent illness, one which required a regular intake of medicine, so this is exactly what she needs. Raphtalia's face turned extremely sour after just a sniff. However, she was very enthusiastic about drinking it since this was her punishment. So bitter. Just bear with it. Fucking go. Raphtalia, who finished drinking the whole thing, had a blenched face and looked about ready to vomit. By the way, that compounded medicine seemed to fetch a good price, but since the quality was poor, the intensive taste was even worse. Yay! Whatever. This cute little girl or something. I don't know. She's kind of cute. She's interesting as a character. It's weird. She's still kind of a slave, and it's still weird that the cover has her as a fucking not a child. I'm very curious as to how that's gonna happen, but just keep reading, I guess.